Okay, let me pull the stream up on my phone real quick. Let's see. Oh, actually, oh, good. I told my friend Matt, and he said he wasn't gonna watch. And then I texted my sister, and she left me on red. So
Nice.
okay. Is me being in your Twitch account gonna screw anything up if I'm trying to watch? It was messing me up last time because like the Twitch was like a second or two behind. So like I'm watching you talk to me, but like your face is like behind. Unless there's a way for me to. Is there a way for me to? Well, actually, I want to be able to watch chat anyway. Yeah, it's fine. I'll just do it again. Yeah, go ahead. That white bottle in the near the shower is just like face wash from my last roommate. Yeah, we just had Taco Tuesday, and I was not trying to look oily for the stream. How do I freaking mute? Oh, it is muted. Okay. Uh, you have my mic on, right?
Yes, your mic is on.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to
What's going on, you
the Jake and
guys?
Josh podcast, episode 2.
Yes, sir.
It's good to be back. It's been a week. Lots happened during this week, I'm sure. Jake, do you want to start us off with any kind of keep us updated with your weekly life?
Oh, I mean, the week has been pretty slow rolling. I skipped class today.
Same.
I took a fat nap. Nothing's really been new in my life. Just came back from a Fat Taco Tuesday with my boy Bryce here.
Oh yeah.
Love that. $5 deal.
$5 deal, yeah, of course.
Awesome. Yeah, same. My week was relatively uneventful. This weekend, actually, I did go traveling. As you know, I do a club sport at my school. So we were traveling up to like Maryland. It's just a quick drive. So me, like, I'm a senior, right? I'm kind of upper ranking on the team. So I was in charge of food, like kind of
Okay.
where we stopped. So I got to pick. So naturally, we have no Popeyes in the area
Mm-hmm.
within like an hour or two. So I'm like, oh, we're definitely stopping at Popeyes on this drive. right?
Of course, yeah.
So there's one on the way. It's like perfect halfway, literally the perfect destination, literally
Mhm.
like halfway in the drive. So we go, we start getting close. So it's like a 10-minute drive. We're driving through this one lane, like wooded, like super dark, like highway, right?
Mhm.
We pull up to, and it says that we're about to arrive, like 2 minutes away. We pull up to a military base, right? Big armored guards, people standing with guns outside,
Dang.
like, and we pull up, and there's no turning back. It's a one-lane road. So I'm
Yo, got
like,
any chicken sandwiches?
yeah. So we pulled up, and we're like, well, like, of course the blame got cast on me, and I guess it somewhat was my fault
Yeah.
that we went there. So we were like, hey, we heard there's a Popeyes here. Um, that's why we're here. We're not here to like no funny business, right? And meanwhile, the guys out here, giving us weird looks. But all in all, he comes in on the bus. He says, "I'm gonna have to like check everyone. I'm gonna have to like search everyone, check your
What
IDs."
the heck?
But eventually, we did get permission to go on the military base, and we
Oh
got
my
our
god.
Popeyes chicken sandwiches.
Dang, that's
Which
pretty lit.
now it was so it all worked out for the better, even though it took like an hour and a half out of the trip. But
Dang.
I was
For
fine with
real.
that. Yeah.
Did they let you hold his AK?
No, no.
Oh, darn.
No. Okay. Cool. So that's pretty much my week. So
What's going
Bri-
on, Austin?
yeah, it's good to see everybody in the chat. Of course, just want to remind everyone we're always open to questions.
Yeah, for
Um,
real.
anything happening Bryce this week while I call Tom?
No, nothing.
Nothing cool?
Class. Was late to class today. Didn't skip because I'm a good student.
Yeah. Bryce is a
Okay.
Bryce is a nursing major, so he's got long, long days.
Yeah, I had a 6-hour class on Monday.
Are
Six
you
and
a
half.
nursing major? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately.
My girlfriend's a nurse. We know that. All right. Hello? Anyone here? Okay.
Okay, we back, boys. What's up, Tommy?
Is Tom in here?
He should be.
Whoa? Hello? We can't hear
So,
you if you're in here.
maybe Tommy's got some technical difficulties right now. What airport's he in right now?
He is coming live from the Tampa airport.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
rough one.
not Liddy, but yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully he figures it out soon. I'll hit him with a DM while we're at it. But
Yeah, for sure.
oh,
But yeah, Bryce has these long days and there's
I'm hearing something.
you
Tom,
hearing something?
Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, can you hear me now?
I
Yeah,
can't
what's
hear
up,
you.
Tom?
I can't hear you too
You gotta
well.
be a lot louder.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Not
A little
very
bit.
well. Not.
Unfortunately, just can you turn on my volume?
I have you at 200% currently.
Give me a sec, give me a sec.
I
They
don't
are
know how to turn the volume.
lean. They are using my room as a Bitcoin operation.
I'm turning Tommy up.
That's really interesting, lean. A lot of graphics cards, really hot, really loud.
Yeah.
Austin's room. LOL.
Hello.
You been playing any new games this week, Joshy?
No, I've still been kind of dabbling around with Red Dead.
Yeah.
Just kind of
We're,
chilling, being a
yeah.
cowboy, living out a fantasy.
Yeah. We're playing Sea of Thieves again tonight.
Yeah, I don't really
You
know
guys,
anything about that game.
hello.
Tom?
What's up, Tom?
Is my mic working or no? You guys
It's
hear me okay?
it's not
Working enough.
it's not great, but it's not bad.
Okay. I mean, I can try to take my headset off.
That was much better. Whatever you did for that quick second was much better.
Give me a sec. Stand
Okay,
by.
stand by. Okay, but yeah, Sea of Thieves. Can you give me a quick walkthrough?
Oh man, open world sailing.
I don't know. It's just
There's a lot of Tommy do be a little bit loud right now.
I just muted him.
Yeah. I'll turn down. Yeah, open world sailing as your pirates,
Okay.
and it could go like hours without seeing another player, and then all of a sudden, there's 4 or 5 ships behind you, and we're all fighting for the same loot that we spent the same amount of hours trying to fight for.
Yeah. It
So it
sounds
could
like
get
it sounds interesting. Cross-platform? Probably not.
yes,
PC and Xbox.
Oh, really? That's sick, actually.
yeah. So we could run
Or
some,
no, it's a Microsoft exclusive, so it's not even on PlayStation.
not on PlayStation, yeah, but
Sick.
just PC.
And that's Sea of
Sea of
Thieves. Yeah.
crotch.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna unmute Tom. Hey,
Yeah, tell
Tom.
me.
I just unmuted you. Do we have anything better?
I'm getting on my computer. Just give me a sec.
Oh, whatever audio you have right now is much better.
Yeah,
let me
I
turn
can
it back up.
talk, but I just
Like,
can't hear you guys. I had to unplug my headphones, but I'm just gonna boot up my computer
Tom's
and plug
probably
it in.
hiding in a
Just give me
bathroom stall at
2
the
minutes.
airport.
Yeah.
Probably. But I think this is a good time to segue into our topic of this week. Like we said
Yeah, for
last
sure.
week, we have a topic, and our two guests have this in common.
Yeah. We brought some gambling addicts onto the show, boys and
Whoa,
girls.
whoa.
But yeah, we're talking about gambling, specifically like sports betting. At least I think that's what you said Bryce does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So Tom, who we're working on getting kind of incorporated as an eSports bettor, at least was really big into it a few years ago back in college.
He found some success.
A lot of success. Hopefully, we get to hear a lot about it. And then Bryce is into real sport betting,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah.
bet hockey.
You bet hockey.
Because I really don't know much about how it works exactly. I know how it works,
What
but
don't you know?
I mean, how did you get into it first off? Because you weren't a better 2 months ago.
No. All right. To be completely honest, this guy I follow on Instagram bets like a lot of money, like
Mm-hmm.
tens of thousands of dollars, and
Dan Bilzerian.
no, I seen him make a lot of money off it, so I was like, screw it, I'll give it a try. How hard could it be?
Yeah.
And turns out it's hard. So
Yeah. I've slightly dabbled in esports betting. Not necessarily for the goal of making money, but more in a line of it's a good time. Kind of make
Yeah.
I don't know if you've experienced this too, Bryce, but like watching games becomes a lot more interesting.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
because
big time.
I'll tell you right now, John, 2 months ago, Bryce was not a hockey fan.
Right.
Now we have hockey-related conversations every night now.
Yeah.
He's got 5 games in line right now as we
I
speak.
love that. That's sick. It's just so fun to like every game it's I sweat so much like watching people play.
Some of them are so hard to watch, but it's like you can't
Yeah.
look.
I
What
know.
games
It's
were you betting on, Josh?
what?
What games were you betting on?
I generally am pretty consistent with betting on Counter-Strike.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, which is like it's super fun, and the majors coming up soon, which means betting season's kind of like back into full swing.
Uh-huh.
So you can always bet on Counter-Strike. There's always like stuff going on, but during major season it's a lot more active.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey,
it looks
Tommy.
like we have Tom back in. Good
All
to
right,
have
cool.
you.
Tommy.
Good
Hey,
to have
guys.
you on the chat.
Hey,
So
Tommy.
so we just talked to Bryce about kind of how we got into to gambling. Do you want to give us a quick history?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I started playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive in I want to say 2014. And, my good pal Colin Bowers got me into the game, and we were just talking one day about when we were playing paintball and whatnot at practice. It was about skins, and I was kind of super enthralled with the idea that virtual items are valued with actual currency.
And a lot too.
Yeah, so skins can range anywhere. When I say skins, it's just um, a design on a gun or a certain kind of knife, something like that, just aesthetic stuff. Doesn't affect the game, but now skin prices can go anywhere from a penny to over $50,000 depending on the skin variety and stuff like that. So that immediately caught my attention, at least, to what the whole skin industry is all about.
So were you opening the crates for these skins?
No, I mean that's where they originate from. That's where the skins come from. For the most part. But I was not. I originally got into the game and bought my skins just off the marketplace originally before I even knew what betting was. And then I guess how I got into betting was my buddy told me about this website. This was a couple years ago, so there was no system. There's no. It was basically a giant loophole. It was super shady and illegal when it comes to gambling laws and whatnot. But basically there's a site called CS:GO Lounge where it would just be moneyline bet. So you'd bet on who would win and who would lose. So the odds of the game would be 50-50, and if you bet on one who has 50%, you get your whatever you put in plus I don't know, whatever that percentage of the odds comes back.
And so you're getting the value of the skins, right? So it
so
comes out to a dollar amount, but you are actually getting skins in return.
Yeah. So if I put if it was 50 odds,
that big into it.
yeah, it got pretty ridiculous. Basically how the odds would work would be because it's a 50-50 game, if you put in $100, and you won, you get your $100 back plus another $100 in skins, in random skins. So that's kind of how you would get the skins returned back to you, because you wouldn't actually get money, but how you'd actually make money would be through selling those skins to either private buyers or third-party sites. Like they originally made, like after a couple of years, some companies came about that would allow you to sell like as like a third party, so you wouldn't get scammed. And you'd send them the skins, and it's like just like a giant marketplace.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'd get like PayPal. What's up?
Did you come out on top at the end?
Yeah. Overall, it was kind of like, I definitely was addicted just because of like the rush. Like you guys were just talking about how like watching games is so much more entertaining when you have money on the line. So I got like really into it from the analytical side of things, and just that really like drew me in. At one point, their community for betting is very like forum based. Like you know people, and then they won't like tell you who's winning and whatnot unless you're like this status and this much profit margin and stuff like that. At one point, like one of the upper echelon, like a well-known like bettors, he like brought this idea like to a bunch of us to have us all move out to Ohio and have like live in like a betting house and like like have like analytic like just like study matches, and like I was never gonna do it, but he like brought it up and I was like, okay, I mean I could see why people would do that, because there was a lot like back then, like the like I said, yeah, it was like the Wild West. Like there was no regulations and stuff like that.
That's crazy. That sounds
Money
like
in
some Team 10 hype house type ish right there.
or like it was crazy. But yeah, like I ended up getting like close with that group of guys, and we'd have like I got access to like one of the sites that we had like because like you don't want to discuss like the odds of a game in a general like Twitch stream with like hundreds of viewers, because then if you do that, it's gonna shift the odds, right?
Right.
So Tom, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How much of that came out on your taxes?
I gotta go. I mean,
no, but so
next question.
So on skins themselves, I know you definitely you were a strategic better, right? You weren't just like throwing money on like a wheel, like kind of what CS:GO gambling kind of devolved to in its like end state.
Yeah, that was a degenerate state of betting.
You were definitely like on the analytical underdog type.
Yeah,
like really kind of into it that way.
Yeah, I never really bet on like the favored team, because like the risk for like betting on a favored team was never. I mean, that's just like how betting is. Like you don't want to bet on favored teams most of the time because the risk isn't.
It's not worth it.
Like that.
Yeah, the favorite team, the odds are a lot worse. So you
I mean, it's not worth winning and like $50 if it's not worth losing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. So like, most of the time I'd bet on underdog games where it'd be like best of one matches. So like in CS:GO, there's like best of ones, best of threes, and best of fives. And there's so many variables in CS:GO that like if it's a best of one, and like say it's like the number one team in the world versus like an unknown team from China, and it's a best of one and they never played before, and the odds are like 90-10, you'd be stupid to bet on the 90. You might as well bet like a little bit on the 10.
Yeah, right.
And the return is insane. Yeah. So that's kind of like what I would do. I would like research individual players through like this website called HLTV, which had like a breakdown of their stats from like scrims and matches in general, something like that. So I like research unknown rosters and all that kind of stuff. And in the end of the day, like I definitely wouldn't win all my games, but at the same time, like I would have like a limit of how much I'd want to bet per day. Of like say I'd be like, oh, I'm okay with losing this much if I win like this one game and stuff like that.
Right.
Dang.
That kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of the last major that I was betting on. So like I don't have a lot of money, obviously. So I usually start with like $50, right? And so 2 days into the major's like 3 weeks long, right? 2 days into the major, I have $2 left. Like I'm losing all my matches.
Oh man.
So bad. So then I'm like, my goal for the rest of the major is to get back to $50. And I can't with $2, so I'm betting like $1 on each game. And like trying to slowly make it. But I know like back when this was happening, NRG, I'm sure you're familiar, Tom, they were like doing super good and were like super underrated. So almost every match they had, especially versus like the top like 5 teams, they were always the underdog, but they were like winning like everything. So I was able to get all my money back just on energy alone.
Oh,
which is great. Which means next betting season I still have my $50 in my account. But but Tom, real quick, I kind of want to touch on maybe some earnings because I know you definitely came up a lot. Maybe bought a few big items with some betting money. If you want to kind of touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I mean, eventually, when I first started betting, I wasn't like good at it off the top. Like, I definitely had to put in money to like get to the eventual point where I was when I quit. But I think after about like 6 months, I ended up having enough money to buy my car. At that point, so it was nothing special. It's just a shitty Subaru that died this year. Rest in peace.
Yeah, but I mean that's crazy.
But yeah, so I mean, that was that, and then then that's like probably the biggest purchase other than like investing into like some Bitcoin and stuff like that.
How about you, Bryce? 'Cause you're a novice better.
So there's definitely a learning curve. And
Absolutely.
I'm still on that curve, I would say, because I will not be buying a car anytime soon.
No, but so question for you, Bryce. I don't know what website you like go through, nor do I want you to say it. But is it like an offshore thing where you have to like do it with like Bitcoin or?
Yes, it's an offshore thing where I put my money into Bitcoin and put the Bitcoin on the site, and then
that online.ag.
Yeah, that's what Tom and I currently use. But but yeah, same principle.
On using your card to gamble, so
yeah,
makes sense.
And Bitcoin is definitely interesting.
Yeah. So hey Tom, before we lose you, I just wanted to hear about your trip to Disney, the new.
Oh yes.
Everything I wanted it to be. I'm currently sitting in the airport with a lightsaber on my back. But yeah, dude, it was super sick. As much like flack that Disney's gotten like for Star Wars and general like the new stuff, they really did the park justice. It was super fun. Not trying to spoil it for anybody that wants to go, but definitely build a lightsaber if you can get a reservation. And I mean, the blue milk was fire. That's some ramen.
Oh yeah, what did that taste like? If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, there was a green milk, and then there was a blue milk. Or no, it was yellow. It was kind of greenish yellow. But yeah, the blue milk was like a raspberry kind of like smoothie slushy thing.
Okay.
That was pretty good, honestly. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, that was really fun. And then we also went to the cantina. That was pretty
cool.
cool.
I didn't know that was a thing. Cantina looked really.
Yeah, it was super sick.
Well, if you could pick like your favorite part, would it be building the lightsaber, Rise of the Resistance, just the park itself? Like, what would you say the peak Star Wars?
Just like, shoot, I loved everything.
Or even like the atmosphere itself.
The atmosphere itself was super sick. Smuggler's Run was the Millennium Falcon like simulator. So I thought that was super sick. I was really impressed with that. And
your girlfriend's in the chat right now, Tommy, saying that the green milk was tasty.
It was pretty good. I tried that as well. But yeah, I mean, like just in general, just the atmosphere and like how well it was done and organized and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, it was
cool, man. That's good to hear, though.
Yeah. Did you have any good conversations with stormtroopers? I love seeing that.
No,
on
they didn't
TikTok.
They didn't come up to me, unfortunately.
Weren't flashing the lightsaber?
Nah, unfortunately.
Huh. But I just want to say thank you for hopping on, Tom. It's been a pleasure. I hope you have a good flight.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of the podcast. And, I'll be listening for a little bit of time that I have.
Good. It was great to have you. Thanks, man.
See you guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Cool.
What a guy.
That was awesome. Schlug7, it's good. I'm glad you're parked here. I just want to say that. I just want to shout you out. Glad you're parked here on the Jake and Josh podcast.
I mean, before we close things out, does anybody in the comments have any questions that are actually relevant to anything that we want to talk about?
Yep. Anything really. We're currently on the topic of gambling still. So
or Star Wars, I guess now. Anything really.
Yeah, really. We're really all over the place. So, but Bryce, so you're gambling currently. Did Jake say that?
Yes.
Are you any matches going on right now?
Yeah, I just checked the scores a minute ago. Actually, it's not.
You got what? 5 games on the line right now?
4, I think.
Now, you don't have to give me an exact amount, but how heavy are we going into these?
Not very.
A lot lighter.
$15 a game.
Okay, so it's very reasonable. I don't know what are the odds looking like.
They were 15, so nothing crazy.
Yeah, Tristan asks, is this IRL gambling or is this strictly internet? Internet, basically.
Yeah, it's on the internet.
None of us are
on my
going to
phone and my
casinos.
laptop.
Yeah,
I
none
mean,
of us are going to casinos.
frankly, I love the game of poker, and that's a gambling game.
Haven't gotten into that yet. Yeah.
I love poker, but there's no casinos around. But yeah,
Poker head. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, right. But okay, so you said 5 games. That's a lot.
I have 4 right now. Yeah.
Four
Some nights
games.
there's a lot more. It depends on
Really?
how many
Some
teams are
nights
playing.
though, yeah, I don't know.
Are
I'm
you-
still learning, like Tom was saying. I don't
Yeah.
know, like sometimes I bet heavier on one game if I know it's like a surefire game, and sometimes I split that money up into multiple games if they're
Yeah.
a little more iffy.
That's kind of where I'm at too. So Lean, your question was if I'm going deep at this major for gambling.
Balls deep.
Not super deep. Probably just gonna take my $50 that I have in my account already and kind of see where I can go with that.
When's that coming up?
The major should be in like 2 weeks maybe.
Oh, it's coming up. All right.
Davis, you should be able to let me know. I believe the minor qualifiers are going on right now. And
Gotcha.
then
You'll have to update us on how that goes for you.
actual like best of one should be starting in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, rad. We got 11 viewers right now. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. This is awesome.
We love just hosting everybody here.
I've looked at the eSports like tab on the betting website, and it's literally the same as sports. Like they have like a money line, like the spread, and whatever it else is for sports. It's not like points. I guess it goes by like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
It is-
It's the exact same thing. Really.
It is super cool. Yeah, so I do want to touch on kind of how like sports betting goes, because like in CS:GO, you can always bet on, of course, like win or lose, like just overarching. But like when you come to like best of threes, you can be like, okay, like I bet that the underdog team is gonna take a map. Like you can bet just like simply that they'll take one game out of the best of 3,
Okay.
or you can bet that the team that's supposed to win, you can bet that they're going to 2-0, which is like also, so if you like know that this team, like for example Astralis, which is like usually number 1 in the world in CS:GO, if you know that they're looking really good for this team, you could bet that they're going to 2-0 them, and then that'll generally give you more money than if you just bet that they're going to win.
Yeah.
So what different type of like tiers are there for betting on
So for hockey, I mean all sports, you have your 3 main sections. You have money line, which is which team directly is going to win, one or the other. You
Okay.
bet on a team to win. Then you can bet the spread. So in hockey, it's called a puck line bet. You can do they go in intervals of 0.5s, so you can't tie a bet. So like tonight I have one going is the Blue Jackets plus 1.5, which means they're either going to lose by 1 or win.
Okay.
So
That's pretty nice. Kind of gives you some leeway.
Yeah. So it's kind of a safer bet.
Mm-hmm.
But hockey's risky with those because the empty net at the end, and
Right.
then they win by 2 sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
And then other than that, there's over under, which is just total points of the game, usually like 5.5 or 6.5 over that many goals or under.
Okay.
And then you can click like on the team, and then you have all the specific like player bets. Like last night I did one on the captain's capital, Alex Ovechkin. Will he shoot over 4.5 shots on goal? And that was a mistake because he had 4.
Yeah, I found in my place too that kind of betting on the super specific stuff usually bites me. But yeah, Davis in the chat just reminded me that CS has like live betting too. So if like you forget to place it before the round, or say the underdogs are like really going ham and you just didn't even think it was worth betting on it, you can still bet during the matches too.
There's live betting for hockey too. It's just once the game starts, like the second it starts, the odds usually get worse.
they drop for sure.
And then if you wanted to bet on like a certain team and they're up like 1-0, the odds are like perpetually worse because they're already winning. So it can work good or bad because sometimes like a team's gonna win and they might be down by 1 just for some odd reason, and you can like their odds will be really high because they're losing technically.
Yeah, right. And that kind of helped me out in the live betting section, because it's just like, okay, like, because sometimes I feel like the betting sites not too sure what's going on, because like I don't know if you're too familiar with CS:GO, but like for example like Dust 2 super like T-sided or CT-sided currently. So like sometimes teams will be going up like 10-5 first half, and that's like super normal. Even if like,
Mm-hmm.
so then that's going to swing the odds, but when the good team hops on T side, they're going to like roll over them even though they're down by 5. And you can
Gotcha.
kind of like cheese some money out of it that way.
Uh-huh.
I'm not too good at betting. Tom holds my hand through the whole process, but
Yeah, that's what he said in the chat earlier.
yeah, exactly. I wanted to touch on that.
I mean, that's nice though. It's nice to have somebody to help you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially someone who can
Especially
buy
if
a
he's good at
car.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom knows what's going on. He's got it. He's got it going. I definitely
Yeah,
don't
you know what
have
they say.
too big of a
Once an addict,
capital.
always an addict.
No.
Yeah, that's terrible. But yeah. Anything last to touch on, Jakey?
I mean,
Hi, Jakey.
I think this was a pretty good podcast this week. It's good to have a subject like that we can focus on.
Yeah, next week our subject is TBD.
TBD.
But
Yeah, I mean we had 12 peak viewers. That was more than last week.
yeah, it's good to have everyone
Super
kinda
awesome.
hang out.
We had some good guests on this week.
Yeah, and we're gonna have
Bryce
another
for
guest
coming
on
up.
next week, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Bryce, thanks for coming out. It's interesting to hear about sports betting. I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
the
sports.
topic in general. So
Yeah.
I wish you luck on your games today.
Thank you, King.
Yeah.
And for anybody who came in late, this was going to be on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you want to catch the full podcast, just go to Jake and Josh Fridays. It's on YouTube. You'll find it.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for coming out, and it's been a Jake and Josh podcast.
All right, man. Thanks for everybody coming.
Thank you for
Bye,
having
y'all.
me.